Welcome to this training video for the Case Builder module in the Diagnostic Radiology SOE Toolkit. This video is designed for case authors and examiners who prepare structured oral examination cases before the examination day. When the application opens, the first screen is the access control login. For case preparation, use the case author role if you are preparing cases only. Use the admin role only if you have administrative responsibilities, such as managing access settings, updating databases, or running system checks. Enter the password and select Login. The application will show only the tools allowed for your role. After login, the visible modules and menus depend on your access privileges. A case author normally sees the Case Builder module and the functions needed for case preparation. Restricted administrative functions are hidden unless your role has permission. If a tool is not visible, it may be intentionally restricted by the administrator. Use official import templates. Before importing any list or database, use the official Excel templates from the Help menu. Select Export Blank Import Templates to create compliant blank files. Each template includes an instructions sheet, a template info sheet, the correct datasheet name, and the exact required column headers. The Case Builder uses an authors list so that the author's name is selected from a controlled drop-down rather than typed manually. If the list has not been imported, the application will alert the user based on the role. The imported authors workbook must include a sheet named Authors and a column header named Authors. If the administrator has already preloaded the authors list, the case author does not need to import it again. The Case Builder is organized as a stepwise workflow. Start with PACE details. Then move to objectives, questions, rubric, and save and export. In the Case Details tab, complete all mandatory fields. These include author name, case number, difficulty, primary system, subsystem, and condition or disease. The case number is suggested automatically based on the number of locally saved cases for the selected author, but it can be manually edited when needed. The application will not allow saving a case if required fields are missing. The case blueprint uses a 3-layer categorization model: primary system, subsystem, and condition or disease. This makes the case identification appropriate for diagnostic radiology residency level assessment. Use the case blueprint search table to find the correct condition or disease. Start typing in the search field and the table filters in real time. When you find the correct row, double-click it. The application automatically fills the primary system, subsystem, and condition or disease fields. Use Clear Search to reset the filter. Select Assessment Objectives. Open the Objectives tab to select the competencies and the linked learning objectives that the case is intended to assess. From the drop-down lists, choose a competency category, then select a linked learning objective. Set the objective as primary or secondary to define its relative importance and determine the scoring weight assigned to it. Set the critical flag to Yes only when the objective represents an essential performance element that must be passed. When an objective is marked as critical, failure on that objective will result in an overall fail rating for the case, regardless of the scores achieved in the other objectives. Select Add Objective to add it to the selected objectives list. After adding objectives, the selected objectives table remains editable. Double-click an objective row to open the edit window. You can adjust the importance and critical settings without deleting and re-adding the objective. Use Remove Objective when an objective is not needed in the case. Core objectives are objectives that the examination committee considers important across many cases. If core objectives have been configured, they can be automatically added to new cases or manually added using Add Core Objectives. Core objectives can be configured from the application menu. From the main menu, open Tools, then select Core Objectives Manager. In the Core Objectives Manager, choose the competency category and the learning objective that should be treated as a core objective. Select the objective from the available objectives table, then click Tag Selected as Core. Alternatively, double-click the objective to add it directly to the core objectives list. After closing the configuration window, the selected core objectives become available in the Case Builder. When a case author opens the Objectives tab, These core objectives can be added using the Add Core Objectives button. If automatic addition is enabled, the configured core objectives are added to every new case automatically. Core objectives are not locked at the individual case level. If a core objective does not apply to a specific case, the author can remove it from that case. Questions and Clinical Scenario. The Questions tab includes the Standard Questions table and the Clinical Scenario field. The clinical scenario should be brief and focused. It usually includes the patient context, key clinical presentation, relevant imaging setting, and the reason the case is being presented. The application automatically assigns standard questions linked to the selected learning objectives. The standard questions are intended to provide a consistent starting point, but they can be edited when needed. To modify a question, double-click the question row in the Standard Questions table. This opens the Edit Standard Question window, where the author can rephrase the question while preserving its link to the intended learning objective. After editing, save the changes so the revised questions are stored with the authored case. These edits apply to the current case only and do not change the central standard questions database. The Rubric tab. The Rubric tab contains two subtabs, Rubric Details and Score Distribution. The Rubric Details subtab summarizes the scoring structure for the case. It shows the selected objectives, competency categories, objective importance, and critical settings. Review this table carefully before finalizing the case. Primary objectives carry greater scoring weight than secondary objectives, according to the scoring configuration. Critical objectives should be used carefully because they may affect the final interpretation of candidate performance. The Score Distribution subtab defines the expected performance levels for each objective. In the default configuration, the scoring scale ranges from 1 to 3, where 1 represents fail, 2 represents borderline, and 3 represents pass. Each row represents one objective, and each score column contains the performance definition for that score level. Double-click a row to open the Edit Score Definitions window. Enter clear descriptions for Score 1, Score 2, and Score 3. These descriptions help examiners apply the scoring scale consistently during the examination. Save and Export. The Save and Export tab is the local case management area. Use Save Case to store the current case in the application database. Saved cases appear in the Saved Local Cases table. Start a new case. When you select New Case, the application clears the current case, clears search filters, returns to the Case Details tab, and preserves key logic such as automatic case numbering and core objectives. This supports the normal workflow of creating one case, saving it locally, starting another case, and gradually building a local case list. When the cases are ready, you can export either selected cases or all saved cases as a case package. After you choose the export option, the application will ask you to select the file name and the location where the package should be saved. This exported case package is the file that will be distributed to examiners and imported into the scoring console for use during candidate scoring. If you need to move saved cases to another computer or receive saved cases from another author, use Import Cases. The application provides duplicate handling options such as importing as new copies, skipping duplicates, or replacing duplicates. Importing as new copies is usually safest. The Export Case Sheet function creates structured case documents for review, printing, or archiving. You can export either selected cases or all saved cases, and you can choose the output format as Excel, PDF, or both. The exported PDF includes the case details, selected objectives, clinical scenario, standard questions, rubric details, and score distribution. It is designed to serve as a professional case review document that can be used for quality review, examiner preparation, documentation. The Case Builder brings the entire SOE case development process into one structured workflow. As a case author, you begin by logging in with the correct role and ensuring that the authors list is available. You then define the case using the Diagnostic Radiology Blueprint, select the relevant learning objectives, add core objectives when appropriate, generate standard questions, and write a focused clinical scenario. You complete the rubric by reviewing the objective structure and defining clear performance expectations for each score level. Once the case is complete, you save it locally, build your case set, and export the final case package for use in the scoring console. By following this process, each case becomes more than a clinical example. It becomes a standardized, objective-linked, rubric-based, and scoring-ready assessment tool. For more detailed information, users are strongly encouraged to read the included help file, which is available from the application's help menu.